Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another interesting economic capsule on the Puerto Rico economy. Don't forget to subscribe to the voice of Heidie Calero in YouTube so that you receive notifications of interesting and new analysis on the Puerto Rico economy. Today we are going to illustrate very clearly one of the most important laws in economic analysis, the law of demand and supply. And nothing better than COVID-19, the pandemic, to illustrate with the executive orders of the lockdown, of the stay-at-home orders, how it impacted both demand and supply. On the demand side, the executive orders as of March 15 in Puerto Rico, we were told that non-essential businesses and services were to be closed and that we were all to stay at home, all households stay at home, and the curfew was from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening until 5 in the morning, and you were only supposed to go for essential services such as going to the supermarket or the drugstore or maybe buy gasoline for your car. But other than that, demand collapsed. Nothing more better than illustrate that with the most recent data that we just got this week regarding retail sales, monthly retail sales in Puerto Rico. And this is illustrated in our first graph, which depicts the first quarter of 2020. And mind you, that's only 15 days in March when we were closed down. So the pandemic, yes, did it start February, but the shutdown only occurred at the end of March. And even so, notice this decline from Q1 2019 to Q1 2020. It was a reduction of 9%, from almost $8 billion to almost $7.2 billion. So a dramatic reduction in demand. Everybody was staying at home. Now, notice in the second graph that we are depicting here, different categories of these retail sales, which, as I said, it's a proxy of consumption. Well, as of Q1 2017, all the way to Q1 2020, the gray segment, the gray shaded area in these columns, pertain to the category of food and drug, supermarkets, drugstores, specialty stores. All that was included there. Notice, as expected, there was an increase of 4%. That's what we were told to buy, really. All the other categories depict double digits negative growth. And notice what happened with furniture and electrodomestic and appliances. It went down from Q1 2019 to Q1 2020, 35% reduction. The deep blue that you see here regards auto, parts, gasoline, and that also experienced a reduction of 22%. Nobody was out there on the road, so why were you even buying a car? Besides, you didn't have money. You were waiting for all these stimulus packages. And then the yellow segment is the hardware stores. Well, nobody was even painting their houses or homes. That's a reduction of 29%. No hurricane, as it happened with Hurricane Maria. So a reduction of 29%. And then the light blue is the department stores. Again, they were closed. They were considered non-essential businesses. So a reduction of 4%. Again, because of the massive size. In absolute terms, they really felt the COVID-19 shutdown. But in relative terms, it's only negative 4%. So overall, all retail sales in Q1 2020 compared to Q1 2019 fell 9%. And again, I say this is only 15 days in the last month of this quarter, and notice how dramatic that reduction. Finally, let's look at the other important law in Puerto Rico, and that's universal. It's the law of supply. Non-essential businesses were told to shut down. Well, the best indicator is employment. And here we have, with the establishment surveys, we have different categories of different sectors. Again, notice from Q2 2020 compared with Q2 2019, that's when you start seeing more or less the impact of this shutdown. It was a reduction of 11% in total jobs in Puerto Rico, from 878,000 to 782,000, so almost 90,000 jobs, and that does not include all the people who are applying for the unemployment benefits. So the reduction in jobs and the unemployment rate is much higher than the official rate of approximately 9%. Notice that government, this light blue segment, from Q2 2017 compared with Q2 2020, and by the way, Q2 2017 does not include Hurricane Maria yet. That happened in the third quarter of 2017. 0%. The government did not lose any jobs at all. None. They were all staying at home, getting their salaries, while other people were losing their jobs and not getting enough payroll or not getting even the unemployment benefits. The second segment, this deep orange, is manufacturing, and it lost 4% of jobs from Q2 2019 to Q2 2020. The gray segment is retail and wholesale trade, and that again, 17% reduction in jobs. All those small shops, all those medium-sized enterprises, will they ever open again? That's a big question. Then the sliver of blue here is construction, 34% reduction, and finally services. That includes banking, it includes restaurants, it includes barber shops, it includes beauty shops. All those, a reduction, double-digit reduction of 14%. Really, the law of demand and supply is quite illustrated with COVID-19 and what the impact of these shutdowns. I have no problem with the shutdowns and the stay-at-home orders if only that time were used effectively in terms of public policy to get the masks, to get the molecular tests, to get all the laboratories really geared to dealing with all these tests so that we could have them rapid results. Otherwise they're useless, as it is happening in the States right now and even here in Puerto Rico. And that all this health system should be reinforced. We had time to do that, we didn't do it. The results are out there to be judged by history. November is an important month here in Puerto Rico as well as in the States. It's election time. Puerto Rico has serious problems. We need serious people to deal with these problems. Don't forget to subscribe to the Voice of Heidie Calero in YouTube so you receive new notifications on economic analysis. Stay safe.